First round of the NFL draft is in the books, and there was a couple of surprises, a couple of picks, some minor trades, but no real big fireworks. And even though the 2021 offseason was probably going to be the most random in NFL draft history, or at least modern NFL draft history, it went pretty smooth. So let's dive into the picks. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, 1, yes. 2, no Sacky for Zachy. And the Jets are fully going all in. They got Zach Wilson at 2. They're building around him, Broadway Zachy. And at 14, they traded up with the Vikings. Spoiler alert for Elijah Vera Tucker. So they were trying to build that offensive line. They already got Mekhi Becton, who's a nail driver. Now they get AVT. The Jets, they're going in, man. Love it. The Niners, there have been some rumors and conjecture that the Niners had traded up, spending 3 first-round picks. It was down between Trey Lance and Mac Jones. Ben, athleticism won out over college accomplishments. No Panther, Trey Lance, NDSU. Great athlete, big-time arm, only 1 year of tape, and also played at NDSU. So, Niners, man, they're betting on the upside, and I think Trey Lance, of all 5 of the quarterbacks taken in the first round, I think he falls into the best situation because the Niners with Shanahan, that offense is good to go. Trent Williams is your left tackle. You have Kittle, you got Debo, you have Ayuk. Wow. 4, now there have been a lot of conjecture that the Falcons could potentially trade out for a quarterback needy team, but they stick and pick Kyle Pitts. I get it. I understand where Fields, local guy, big upside, sure. Mac Jones, yes, but man, Kyle Pitts, matchup nightmare. He is a unicorn for a reason. And if you're going to try to squeeze out the last just a little bit of Matt Ryan's career, getting a guy like Pitts for Arthur Smith's system makes a lot of sense. 5, Bengals certainly could go offensive line, but they could go a line day 2. Jamar Chase is wide receiver 1 in this class, reunited with Joe Burrow, and it feels so good. 6, now I had said that I think there's a good chance that Jalen Waddle would be taken ahead of Devontae Smith, even though Devontae put up insane numbers and won the Heisman. But the Dolphins reunite Waddle with Tua Tagovailoa, and they're just going to try and get that chemistry going. Back-to-back picks where they reunite a college receiver with his college quarterback. And I like what the Dolphins are doing. Jalen's straight line speed plus Will Fuller plus Devontae Parker. Go ahead. 7, Lions, Brad Holmes and company. They're years away from really competing. It is a full-on tear down and rebuild, and going BPA makes a ton of sense. And Penei Sewell just falling in the lap. Yes, Penei Sewell probably going to play right tackle. They're committed to Taylor Decker. They just paid him. So they get an amazing offensive lineman with big-time upside, and stupid Lions. 8, Panthers, the first sort of surprise pick of the draft. J.C. Horn is the first cornerback off the board. Absolute alpha, stays in the Carolinas, and I really like what they're doing on defense, mainly to the detriment of their offense, because last year they spent all of their picks on defensive players. They spent their first-round pick on another defensive player. Matt Rule and company is building a young, fast, and fun defense. Horn adds that. 9, so the Broncos, you have Justin Fields on the board. And George Paton, first-year GM, former assistant with the Vikings, and he didn't draft Drew Lock. He did just trade a 6th-round pick for Teddy, but it shouldn't eliminate quarterback. So Justin Fields is there. Mac Jones is there, but, Vic Fangio, Diet Mike Zimmer, of course, is going to get his defensive player. So he gets Patrick Surtain II coming out of Bama, and to replace A.J. Bouye. Working with Kyle Fuller, is really building the back end of that defense. 10, Eagles moved up with the Cowboys, up from 12, taking Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. And Devontae with Jalen Reagor for Jalen Hurts makes sense. Now, maybe the Eagles would have moved up for a quarterback, but it didn't work out. 11, the Bears move up for a quarterback. So they move up from 20, costing them a 5th-round pick and a future 1st and a 4th. And hell, I understand Ryan Pace's logic here because, I'm going to trade future first because I might not be around to spend him anyway. But they get Justin Fields. He's going to be the quarterback of the future. Now, they're already saying that Andy Dalton's a starter. Baloney. Get out of here. 12, Cowboys moving down from 10, taking Micah Parsons, where they hadn't picked up the 5th-year option on Leighton Vander Esch. I don't know if they will at this point, but Jalen Smith is that dude. And now you have Micah Parsons. Sean Lee just retired. Yeah, they're rebuilding that linebacker core. 13, Chargers. Makes sense. Taking Rashawn Slater. Going to watch Justin Herbert's blind side. Long time. Vikings were up at 14. And initially, I was extremely upset So you had Christian Darrisaw, you had AVT on the board at 14. Easily could have taken either one of them. But you trade down to 23. That's a long ways, man. But you get 2 third-round picks, including the second pick in the third round you also shipped a 4th-round pick to them. It's whatever. But the Jets move up. They get AVT. They're going to protect Zachy. Makes sense. Patriots 15. So all this talk over the last couple of years of the Patriots making a move up for a quarterback, and they don't do it. And then the Patriots just have Mac Jones follow them, where I think this is a great spot for Mac Jones, where he can sit for a year behind Cam Newton. Obviously, Saban and Belichick have a great relationship, so they got the down low on Mac Jones. And, yeah, it's a really good spot for him. He's going to hold the clipboard for a year. 16, Cardinals. The second of, like, the picks. They picked Zaven Collins, off-ball linebacker. They picked Isaiah Simmons last year. Now, they lost Hassan Reddick, even though he was more of an edge rusher. But Zaven Collins has size, maybe too much size. He weighed in at 270. But he has great coverage skills, and out in the desert, they get a nice player. 17, the Raiders. Now, this was the pick, where I like Alex Leatherwood, but I don't like him in the middle of the first round. I do not like him above Darrisaw. I do not like him above Tevin Jenkins. But Leatherwood goes at 17. The Raiders, of course, are famous for digging, Damon Arnett last year. Clelin Ferrell at 4 2 years ago. So it's whatever. 18, Dolphins. Picking Jalen Phillips, where they got Jalen Waddle on offense. Now they get the other Jalen on defense, where if he can stay healthy, he can be the best edge rusher in this class. He's the first edge off the board. 19, Washington, Jamin Davis blew up his pro day. Great movement skills, adds to an already stacked Washington front seven. 20, so the Giants moved down from 11, and a lot of mock drafts had the Giants going a speed wide receiver 11, mainly Jalen Waddle, but he didn't fall that far. But Kadarius Toney, the jack of all trades, great return man, bit of a gadget player, and also he's really tough to tackle. He's really tough to bring down. Maybe a little bit of an overdraft, but Gettleman and company getting a weapon for Daniel Jones, and they'll see if he actually is going to be that guy in year 3. Next up, Kwity Paye at 21. Colts makes a ton of sense here. Justin Houston moved on, and they always want athletic freaks up front. Chris Ballard does a really nice job here. 22, Tennessee Titans, taking the gamble. Caleb Farley, medical guy, would have been cornerback 1 if he was healthy, but Tennessee's hoping that back is good to go. They lost Adoree', they lost Malcolm, and the Vikings land Christian Darrisaw, where I thought it was not going to happen, because looking at who drafted between 14 and 23, Raiders win offensive line. It wasn't Darrisaw. Wow. Dolphins could have went on O-line. Same thing with Washington. Giants maybe even. Colts certainly have a need of offensive line after Anthony Costanza retired. Titans obviously had a need after Isaiah Wilson moved on after a year. But Darrisaw is going to be your week 1 starting left tackle. Sorry, Ezra. Set it, and you're good to go. Big-time athletic upside, and I'm fired up. Where a guy you would have taken at 14, you get at 23. Now, it wasn't a fun hour and a half in between, but you still got your guy. 24 Steelers, Najee Harris makes a ton of sense. The running game last year was sorely missing. They had needs all over the place, but this is a good place to start. 25 Jaguars, keeping Travis Etienne with Trevor Lawrence. Clemson. Now, it's a little bit surprising since they have James Robinson, the UDFA last year at Illinois State, came out of nowhere, was a stud. Carlos Hyde reunited with Urban Meyer, and now they get Etienne. Makes you go, just a little bit, 26 Browns, Greg Newsome II, pairing him up with Denzel Ward. The Browns now have a really nice pair of cornerbacks. Ravens, first of 2 first-round picks. Rashad Bateman on the outside. Great target for Lamar Jackson from the University of Minnesota. The Saints, bit of a surprise pick. Peyton Turner had been flying up boards, has length, can get after it on the edge from Houston. And they picked up the 5th-year option, Marcus Davenport. They're trying to replace Trey Hendrickson. Sure. 29, of course, all the rumors about the Packers potentially trading Aaron Rodgers. They're like, no, F you. We understand there's great wide receivers on the board, but we're going to go cornerback. Eric Stokes, the fast guy, the speed guy, the pro day guy. Cool. 30, Bills, Rousseau. Now, this pick had been mocked quite a bit, and it made sense. Where Rousseau at this stage of the draft was allotted value. He can play all over the place in that McDermott and Frazier front 7. And their edge rushers for the future, Epinesa, last year's 2nd-round pick from Iowa, and Rousseau. Go ahead. 31, Ravens. Jason Away replacing Matt Judon, as well as Yannick the Freak Ngakoue. They just load up again. And the Bucks taking Joe Tryon, edge rushers towards the end of the first round. At the end of the first round, 4 of the last 5 picks. Joe Tryon coming up from Washington. JPP starting to age out. They did resign Shaq Barrett, but never hurts to have too many guys who can get the quarterback. Dude's still on board. So this is interesting to me. Mon Davis, no go, that's fine. But Elijah Moore didn't go. Rondale Moore didn't go. Terrace Marshall Jr. didn't go. Pat Fryermuth is going to be a really good tight end at the top of the second round. Offensive line, Tevin Jenkins is still there. Radens, Cosme, Eichberg, Mayfield, Dickerson, Davis, oh my. Aziz Uzarlari is still on board. Asai, Boogie Basham, Anwuzurike. Christian Barmore is still there. Wow. Jeremiah Wusu-Koromora, Bolton, Metafont. I'm surprised that Joke didn't go. It wouldn't shock me if Joke is the number 33 pick, the first one in the second round. He would do great with the Jaguars and Miles Jack. And then Sante Samuel, Tyson Campbell, Jevon Holland, Trevin Morig. No safeties went in the first round. No safeties, no D tackles. It's crazy. It's crazy town, man. I love it. The draft is so fun. And like we mentioned in the Darisaw video, where again, perfectly fine with him at 14, getting him at 23, big time gamble, but sometimes it pays off. The board broke perfectly for the Vikings twice. We'll see if it happens again. The Vikings have 10 friggin' picks, including 4 third-round picks. You love it. But your thoughts, recap of the first round, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post some in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.